What if Noah's Ark wasn't just a biblical story, but a real vessel discovered by explorers, photographed by spy planes, and hidden in classified government files for decades? For centuries, the story of the flood has been dismissed as myth, but new evidence, from CIA documents to Turkish excavations, suggests Noah's Ark may have been real, and its secrets too dangerous to reveal. Almost every ancient culture has a flood story. The Sumerians tell of Utnapishtim, warned by the gods to build a massive boat. In Hindu tradition, Manu survives a world-destroying flood, guided by a divine fish. Native American, Aboriginal, and Inca myths all describe floods wiping out civilizations. Even thousands of miles apart, the stories are eerily similar. Why? Was it coincidence or memory of a real global cataclysm? The Bible paints Noah as a righteous man, chosen by God to survive a world-ending flood. But the ancient and controversial Book of Enoch, a text excluded from most biblical canons, offers a much darker, more mysterious origin story. It describes Noah's birth as a terrifying, supernatural event. His skin glowed an unnatural white. His eyes shone like the sun, and he could speak from the moment he was born, praising God. His own father, Lamech, was so terrified he fled, convinced his wife had conceived a child with one of the fallen angels known as the Watchers. This has led modern theorists to question if Noah was the product of divine, or perhaps even extraterrestrial, genetic engineering. Was the flood not just punishment, but a divine reset to preserve a pure human bloodline? Genesis describes the ark as a massive ship, 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, 3 stories tall. Big enough, supposedly, to carry 2 of every animal. But modern researchers point out the obvious problem. Millions of species couldn't fit. One theory, the ark didn't carry animals at all, but genetic material, ancient DNA samples, seeds, and embryos, enough to reboot Earth's ecosystems after the flood. If true, Noah's Ark wasn't just a boat, it was a biological vault. In 1949, during a Cold War surveillance mission over Turkey, U.S. spy planes captured something extraordinary. High on the icy slopes of Mount Ararat, they photographed a strange, rectangular object protruding from a glacier. It was enormous, with the distinct shape of a massive barge, seemingly frozen in time. The CIA immediately classified the photos as top secret. For over 40 years, the agency officially denied their existence, fueling intense speculation among researchers and ark hunters. When finally released under the Freedom of Information Act, the images were a bombshell. Analysts were stunned to find the object's dimensions were a near-perfect match for the biblical description of Noah's Ark. So why the decades of secrecy? Was the government attempting to suppress a discovery that could rewrite history, or does the Ark itself hold a secret far more dangerous? Just miles from Ararat, a 1959 NATO mapping mission yielded a startling image. A Turkish army captain photographed a giant, boat-shaped formation in the mountains of Doğu Bayazıt, sparking immediate intrigue. The dimensions were astonishing. Measurements matched the biblical ark almost perfectly. 300 cubits in length, the exact size described in Genesis. Later, ground-penetrating radar scans appeared to reveal a symmetrical structure beneath the ground, with iron traces suggesting a man-made framework. On-site investigators even claimed to find physical evidence, including what appeared to be petrified wood and large ancient metal rivets, bolstering their case. Convinced, the Turkish government declared it the official resting place of Noah's Ark, but mainstream archaeology dismisses it as a syncline, a natural, albeit uncanny, rock formation. So where's the truth? Was Noah's Ark real? A survival vessel from a global flood? A DNA vault created by advanced beings? Or simply one of history's most enduring myths? What we do know is this. Governments, archaeologists, and intelligence agencies have gone out of their way to keep its story buried. And that raises the biggest question of all. If Noah's Ark is really sitting in the mountains of Turkey, what are they so afraid we'll find inside? This has been Uncharted Secrets, uncovering the hidden truths in under 5 minutes. If you want to know how Noah's story connects back to giants, watchers, and the forbidden history of mankind, watch our previous video on the Nephilim. And remember, sometimes myth is just history that's been covered up.